is there? Thou wilt pay for that, wolf. It is probably wise not to face us 2-on-1, I suppose. Yes, I'm fine. Fine. 2 minor injuries. A shallow bite on my calf, and a scratch upon mine arm. Yes, thou mayest. I suppose they may look that way on account of the fact that the wolf did manage to draw blood, but these do not pain me. Perhaps. Even now I can feel my heart racing, so perhaps it is the adrenaline which is merely staving off the pain. Indeed, if thou dost insist. I know this forest well. There's a small creek nearby, just beyond this hill. Yes, my knight. I am not so fragile as thou seemest to believe. Rather, in truth, I do appreciate thy concern. Thou hast always been inordinately kind to me. Thy duty is to protect me, Miss Knight. What thou doest beyond that is merely by social etiquette, or of thine own volition. On the contrary, in fact, thou hast protected me far better than any of thy fellow knights, have you not? Indeed. There, betwixt those trees and those rocks we shall find the creek. Canst thou hear it? May I sit down here and trust myself to thy care? Thank you. Being short, it doth not seem that the skirt of this dress is in any way damaged. Shall it suffice if I remove this shoe and stocking? Very well. How severe is it? Lucky to have been attacked by a wolf. Yes, I'm fine. The water's merely cold and caught me by surprise, nothing more. Thou mayst continue, please. Thou art indeed prepared, then? Thou wouldst be surprised, perhaps, by the reports I hear from Sir Brandon about some of the other knights. At ease, gentle knight. Thou needst not be so nervous in my company. I do seem to recall having this conversation with thee once or twice before. Thou needst not apologize. I merely... No matter. Continue, please. Yes, I understand. I trust that thou wilt be gentle, so worry not. And now the one on mine arm? 'Tis rather a shame the sleeve hath ripped. Quite like this dress. I'll have to ask Lady Ilia to repair it before my father finds out. The issue at present, however, is that I cannot raise the sleeve high enough that thou canst attend to that scratch as well. Canst thou unfasten the buttons along my back? Thy cheeks have turned such a bright red. Does the idea dissettle thee? I see little issue with it. We are but 2 women alone in the forest, far from any other eyes. I have naught that thou hast not in this regard, nor the contrary, and besides, thou ignorest both my handmaiden and my chemise. Or is there another reason that thou art so flustered? Thou forgettest that it is politically advantageous that I be trained to be perceptive of people. Thou canst not fool me, I should think, especially in light of the attention I pay to thee, but no matter. Indeed. Thou art most gentle, and thy hands are rather warm. May I ask thee a somewhat serious question? Thou needst not answer it, should it discomfort thee. Perhaps I need not, indeed. However, I do not desire that this conversation be eclipsed by our positions. Rather, I seek an honest answer, such as thou art willing to give one, my role as thy princess wholly notwithstanding. Might we be merely two noble women in private conversation? Why didst thou decide to become a knight? As thou knowest well, there are very few women in such position. Thou hidest it not, nor shouldst thou, such are my thoughts. Yet I cannot imagine 'tis always a comfortable position for thee. I know thy records well, and I hold no slight or doubt against thy talents, nor hesitation to entrust my life to thy protection. But being a knight is a difficult and dangerous endeavor, and one, for good or ill, not seen suited for our sex. Nor seemest thou of a specially infeminine disposition, for I have seen thee at our grand soirees where, relieved of thy duty, thou seemest to eagerly take to an elegant dress, and thou dancest with such brightness, and thou carriest thyself with such gentle comportment. I apologize if I ramble too long, yet thou intriguest me for reasons and in ways several. Though thou shouldst be flattered more than flustered, for mine attention is not in judgment. I suppose both might be allowable. Thou mayest. Thy curiosity is not without its merit, I suppose. My curiosity of thee is in part on account of those traits which I have already listed. In short, because thou defiest expectation, which naturally draweth mine attention, on account that it draweth the attention of all those around thee. And thou art at such an age, that the question of whom thou mightest marry raiseth itself whenever such matters come to bear upon conversation, all too commonly amongst nobles. Yet thou hast garnered such a reputation, on account of thine actions, that doth affect an unfavourable position in the hearts of most otherwise suitable men, the which, I suspect, displeaseth you none. I told thee, I have been trained to perceive people, to say nothing of my personal interest in the matter. Well, we are of a similar age now, and my position as princess doth advance the existing concern as to when I might be wed, a topic of conversation in which I find an absolute displeasure, for mine eye seeketh neither the hearts of men. Forgive me, gentle knight, if mine assumption should prove an error, and I shall humbly accept what abashment or modesty thou thinkest fair for so overstepping, but else I have noticed the way thine eye so oft trieth to intercept mine, and I hope to recognize its tender longing as mine own. Are mine eyes and aims misplaced? There will be a later time for articulate thoughts, shouldst thou wish it, and I am also aware that such a confession on my part must weigh heavily upon thy mind, unsure as thou art how to respond. Worry not. At present I seek not refined nor articulate thoughts. No, a mere nod or shake of the head shall suffice, my dear. Good girl. Well, entertain the idea now, gentle knight, and know that our desires seem one in this regard. But what is thy concern? An excellent question, and yet one whose answer I have not yet found, I must admit. And yet I could no longer hold my tongue silent, especially in such situation. I would, of course, that any such relationship betwixt thee and me be seen equal to any counterpart that might be arranged for us, yet it doth seem that some discussion needeth be had in that regard. Fortunately, I am rather often named the clever little princess of this realm, thus I reckon I might discover some scheme we might employ. Indeed, though all mine ideas at present treat only the symptoms, and not the root cause. Wouldst thou accept, were I to propose that thou permanently becomest mine own personal guard, rather than that continuous on rotation of all the kingdom's knights of sufficient caliber? Thine answer pleaseth me well. In addition, that the idea conferreth upon thee an additional mark of honour, such as thou needest not, it should grant us some additional affordance of regular privacy without much risk of suspicion. I think not. The present method intendeth to avoid complacency on the part of the knight, lest he be too at ease. Yet I believe it a straightforward argument that familiarity should beget a confidence and necessary competence in the role, and that I should feel more secure in knowing she who protects me. And that thou art the sole woman with qualifications for the duty, I reckon, is reason enough that I should feel comfortable with thee. Dost thou not agree? I believe they must, yes. If there be nothing else, thou wert she who came to my rescue today. Thinkest thou that the other knights have even noticed mine absence? If it be necessary, I would admit to them far greater error. Yet, to my credit, I am not so foolish as to evade my protectors with no means to effect mine own safety. Thou knowest that I outclass many of our soldiers with a blade. Indeed, he was not pleased to learn of this tendency of mine. Yet this arrangement proveth a willingness to allow compromise, which should not be ignored. Then I shall speak with them this evening on the matter. I expect that it shall pass in my favour, yet thou shouldst be prepared for a summons in the coming days to testify to thine own end, in fairness to thyself. In that case, dost thou wish to return to the castle, or shall we continue on to the grove that was my destination ere that wolf did so rudely interrupt? Very well, let us away then.